to make a video to talk about my knitting plans for 2023. I've put everything behind me that I want to use up out of my stash this year, and I feel like I've maybe been a little bit optimistic with what I'm going to be able to knit through this year. But if you are interested, then grab a drink. I'm still on the Christmas cups, I can't let go of it yet, and stick around and I'll talk you through what I'm going to do. So first off, I have a jumper that I've already started knitting, that I'm calling my Franken jumper because it is a mixture of patterns. I have I'm using the Beauty School, it's the Beauty School pullover by Poison Girls, but I am using the stitch pattern of another jumper because I really liked the texture of it. So this is where I'm at to so far. Oh, it's kinking up a little bit. So I'm using this main body colour is undyed yak, and then the stripes are the Blackberry Picking mini skein set from the Fabrifox. I got these, oh gosh, I bought these back in 2020, and I've had them in my stash waiting for the perfect jumper, and then this jumper came to my mind and I've been saving them until I can cast it on. So these are, it's yak sock, the Blackberry Picking ones, 70% superwash merino and 20% yak, 10% nylon. So there's 10 colours altogether. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use 10 colours because I don't know whether the length of the body will be enough to fit 10 colours in, if that makes sense. But I think the sleeves, they'll definitely be in the sleeves. So far, if I put it this way, maybe you can see it better. So far, I've used these 4 colours. And the stitch pattern is from the Other Loops sweater. I can't remember what it's called, I'll put it on the screen. But I was intending on knitting that, but it was very baggy, and you held this with a strand of mohair as well, and I didn't have mohair that matched all these colours. I know that I like the Beauty School pattern. This is my 3rd time knitting it, so I'm doing that. I've done the largest size so that I can have a little bit of ease, because I don't want it as form-fitting as these ones. And usually when I've knit the Beauty School pullover, whatever it's called, when I've knit that in the past, I've knitted it as a cropped jumper, and this time I don't want it to be a cropped jumper. I want it so that I can tuck it into skirts, tuck it into trousers in the autumn, and it be the perfect little autumn jumper, basically. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like it's a little bit cursed because I've made so many mistakes and had to undo it. There is a mistake in the front here where I've missed, you can't see the pearl bumps there, but I've decided that I'm just going to live with it. You can see it on the back, but by the time I noticed that I'd done it, I'd already knit like the 10 rows in between, and I couldn't be bothered to go back and sort it out. So yeah, that's where I'm at to with that. The next colour that I've got to put in is a very dark purple, and then I think I'm moving on to some greens. I'll have to put a picture of all of the colours together from the Fabrifox's Instagram because they were so beautiful, so autumnal, and I've just been waiting for the perfect project to cast that on. So next on my list is the Solstice Wrap by Amber O'Brien, and I've got the Fabrifox's Advent for 2022, and I'm going to use that to knit the wrap, basically. I don't know whether I don't think I'm going to knit it yet. I think I'm going to wait till later in the year, because by the time I've knitted it now, it'll be spring, summer. I won't be needing to use a wrap, so I'm thinking I'll start knitting it maybe September time, end of August, September time, and then I can use it for this winter and Christmas. But yeah, so that is over here. Can you see? Where's my finger? Ooh, in that box there. That is the advent calendar, which was beautiful. Loved it. I had 2 advent calendars last year. Excuse me. I said that I wasn't going to have any advent calendars and swore it for 3 months, 4 months maybe, and then the advent calendar started getting released and I ended up buying 2. So I bought the Fibre Fox one, which is over there, and I also bought the Camel's Yarn one, and that was all based on pictures of Cornwall. I absolutely love Cornwall. My husband and I got engaged in Cornwall, so I have got that I need to do something with, but I have no idea what I want to do with it yet. Thinking maybe a jumper, a sea glass sweater. Why is there so many names for sweaters, pullovers, jumpers? Doesn't matter. Possibly one of those. I'm just not decided yet. So that is maybe a problem for next year. But yes, so the second thing is the Solstice wrap by Amber O'Brien. I will put a picture of what it is supposed to look like here, or maybe I've already done that. Who knows? The third thing I would like to knit is the Montmartre jumper. I have just googled how to say that because I have no idea. By Fable Knitwear, and I have this. I've just realised this. I've been pronouncing this as sheeps for years, and somebody pronounced it completely different the other day. I can't remember who it was, and I thought I've been pronouncing this wrong the whole time. I can't remember what it is now, so I'm just going to say sheeps. This sheep's yarn is Metropolis, and I bought this originally a few years ago to knit it was an Augustine's number 16, I think it was, and I bought a grey mohair to hold it together with because I saw somebody had done that and I really liked how the fabric looked and like the colours together. When I started knitting the jumper, I just don't like how it looks together. So I've ended up with loads of this, and I love the red squirrel rust kind of colour. It is the colourway Liverpool 065. And so I thought another autumn jumper. This is one of my favourite colours. And I love the poofy sleeves, but also how it's like the sleeves only go down to maybe just below the elbow, and then it's a really long rib. I really like that on the Montmartre. I've forgotten how to say it already. Montmartre jumper. And I had it on my list to knit last year, and I never got around to knitting it. But then I wanted to knit a stripy one, like a Halloween kind of grey and white, or light grey and dark grey. That was my plan. Never got around to it. So this year I would like to knit it again, but this is I'm going to use this. So that's the third one on my list. And I think I've got like 400 grams of it. So I'm hoping that that's enough for the statement sleeve. But when I've seen people who have knit it already, it just looks incredible. Love it. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 4 is a cardigan. I would really like a long cardigan, and I bought this wool last year with the intention of knitting a long cardigan, and again didn't get around to it. So this is the Cascade Yarns Heritage 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. It is in, well, it doesn't have a name for the colour, but it's 5608. It's like a hunter green, which I really like. And the pattern that I'm planning on using for this one is the Solitude cardigan by Kirsten Joel. And it's got like lace panels down the front, and I just really like it. I really think that I would get a lot of use out of a long cardigan. I only have one long cardigan and I reach for it all the time, but it's in like a dark red burgundy colour. So I'm thinking green. I do not have anything that is this colour in my wardrobe, and it's one of, I really like it. I really like this colour. So this is so much knitting. There's no way I'm going to get any of, I'm not going to get any of this done at all. Maybe I should have called this my fantasy knits for 2023. What I would like to knit, but I will not have time to knit. We'll try. I'll get as many done as I can. But yes, number four is the Solitude cardigan by Kirsten Joel, and it is a really pretty pattern. I will again put a photo, if I haven't already, for you to see what it looks like. So I've got 400 grams, 500 grams of this, which I'm hoping is enough for a long cardigan. I kind of want it to come like mid thigh, that kind of length. Okay, so number 5 is the Anemone Kids Sweater by Marita Clements. I have ordered the wool for that. That is all of the patterns that I've mentioned so far, I have the wool in my stash for. But there's 2 kids jumpers that I want to knit for my daughter, and I don't have the wool for that. So I've ordered the wool for the Anemone Kids Sweater, and that is on the way. I've used Knit Picks. I can't remember which one, Knit Picks, I'll have to find out. And here is a picture. And it's going to be in brown and orange, because one of the other jumpers that Marita Clements does, she did it as a dark brown background with an orange flower, and I just really liked how it looked. It's quite 70s, really autumnal again. All of these patterns that I have in mind, I'm like, yes, I'm going to be living my autumnal dream, go through a forest, my daughter can do it with me. So yes, I'm doing a different pattern but with that colourway, and if it's successful, if I'm not a colourwork knitter, I'm not very good at colourwork at all, I much prefer lace, but I'm going to give it a go on a smaller project. So I'll be knitting probably, well, in the autumn she'll be 1.5, so I don't know, maybe I'll be knitting the 1 to 2 years. She's quite small, I don't know, but it's a small project. I can try colourwork. If it's successful, there is an Anemone sweater for adults, and I really fancy it for me. Not that I have time, but a pink and red one like is pictured in the pattern for me, but a cropped version, I think I'd really like that. So maybe that can go on to next year's fantasy knits. The 6th one on my list is another one for my daughter, and I got this pattern last year, and it's the Fairy Ring cardigan by Katie Green, and you get 2, so you get an adult pattern and you get the kids one, and I'm going to start with the kids one again because I'm not a very confident colourwork knitter. I'm going to start with the kids one and see how we get on, but I don't have the yarn for this yet, so I will. That's what it looks like. It's just so cute with the little mushrooms. I am going to go through my stash and see if I do have any anything that I can use. I don't think there's any colour pictures of the finished one. How cute are these drawings? They're so sweet. I do think that I have some red that I could use, and some white and some green, possibly even some grey that I could use for the cardigan. So it would just be the brown, the main colour that I would need to buy. So that's not too bad. I don't think that's too bad. But yeah, that's number 6 on my list of things that I'm going to knit. I will be getting up at 3 a.m. every morning to do 3 hours of knitting before anybody else wakes up. But yeah, this pattern is gorgeous. I just love it. And this will also be the first time that I will do a steek, which has worried me. It's just scary, isn't it? But yeah, that's number 6. So I have some whips that I would like to get finished this year as well. The first one being a Whitmore sweater. I started this in 2021 and I haven't picked it up since 2021 because I had a baby and got busy. So this is what it's like so far. I've nearly finished the body, to be honest. I think that I was knitting to 9 inches until this is 9 inches, and then do the rib because I wanted it to be cropped. And I don't think I'm far. It doesn't look like I'm far off that. So yeah, this is what it looks like so far. I know that I was struggling to decide which sleeve to do, whether to do a straight sleeve or the bishop sleeve. I think I'm going to go with the bishop sleeve. But I can't remember what the wool is that I've used. I feel like it's opal. The white sock yarn is opal something, just opal sock yarn, I think. And then the purple mohair that it's held with is from Hobby. I feel like it was Diablo Wild Print or something like that. It's been so long since I picked it up, I can't remember. But it's not my usual colours. I can only put it down to when I ordered the wool for this, I was pregnant and hormones, I don't know. It's not my usual colours, but I do really like it for the festive season. A nice December time jumper. I don't think I would wear it. I wouldn't wear this in the autumn. Maybe just a November, December, January. That's winter. Just a winter jumper. But I do really like the pinks and the purples in it. So I would really like to get this finished, ready for next winter. But yeah, so the Whitmore sweater. Who's that by? By Amy Loudon. The lacework. I thought I was intimidated by the lacework. I saw Christina from the Gussets and Go Days podcast. That is where I first saw the Whitmore sweater, and she has a cream one that she knit, and it's so beautiful. She has a picture, I think it's on her Instagram, and she's wearing it with like a grey pencil skirt, and the outfit just looks so lovely. And then last year she knit a Whitmore cardigan in like a hot pink. That was lovely as well. So that's what inspired me to do it. And I was intimidated by the lace to begin with, but actually from what I remember, it wasn't that bad. And I think I've still got some to do on the sleeves. I think it carries down into the sleeve a bit more, just like the points. Are they leaves? I'm not sure, just this bit, but on the sleeve. But yeah, I'm looking forward to picking that up again and finally finishing it. So another whip that I had, which this is a whip. This looks so strange. I'll show you. This is a whip that I'm going to frog and redo. I really need just a black jumper in my wardrobe. With a lot of the things that I'm knitting this year, I've had a look in my wardrobe and sort of tried to be really mindful of what I actually need and not just knitting for the sake of it. So I need jumpers for autumn that aren't too thick but still keep me warm. I need a long cardigan because I've only got one and I've worn it to death. I need to get rid of it. And I need a black jumper because a lot of times this autumn and winter I've reached for a black jumper and realised that I haven't got one. So I started knitting this last year. Why is it so big? I've got no idea why it's so wide. I wanted it to be oversized, but that is like that is ridiculous. There's too much ease. I really like the pattern. It is just a knit two together yarn over to create the eyelet. But to be honest, I've knitted this throw on the sofa. That's a habitation throw. I also last year knit another habitation throw. Not last year, the year before. And then I've knit a scarf with a similar, with the just the stocking stitch and then the eyelets. I was a bit sick. I was a bit bored of it. I was bored of doing this stitch pattern. So this has kind of been put to one side, and then when I've come to look at it again, I've realised that it is so, I think it's stretched. I honestly don't think that I knit it this big for me. Like, it needs to be, I feel like this much is this much too big. So I'm going to frog this. This is opal sock yarn again, and I'm going to do something a bit more structured with it. like knit a jumper in panels, so like a back panel, front panel, so that it doesn't stretch, because I just don't think that this yarn is right for this pattern. This is the Sarah pullover, I think it's called, and you knit the bottom of the body, you knit the sleeves up to a certain point, and then you knit everything together and knit up into your raglan in decreases. I'm not a huge fan of that construction, because I like to try it on and see like how, because I like my jumpers to be cropped and not full length. I want to see where it's falling on me, and I know that there is the option for waist shaping, and I decided not to do it because I knew that I didn't want it to be that long, but yeah, this is just too big. It's not worked with this wool, so I'll have a rethink. I don't know what pattern to do yet with this, but I just know that I need a black jumper, just that will go with anything that's easy to reach for. Yeah, so if there's any recommendations for patterns, knitting with just plain black is going to be so boring as well. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have something else on the go as well at that time. But yes, so that is my second whip that I would like to finish. The third whip that I would like to finish is the Anemone cardigan. I can't remember who this is by either. Why am I so terrible with remembering these things recently? But this is a another eyelet pattern, but it's V-shaped. This is the back that I've done so far. Just a cardigan, just a simple plain cardigan. I had a jumper in a similar colour that I've just worn constantly, so I've got rid of that, and I'm knitting a replacement, but it just kind of got put on the back burner last year. I've done, so that's half the back. I've done what is this? One front, that is, I think that's the left front, or is it the right front? No, that's the left front. So I've done the left front, I've done half the back, and then I've done this much of the right front. To be fair, it did knit up quite quickly when I actually sat and did it. I just need to get back into it, and this wool is so nice. This is it feels so lovely. It's Coop Knits Fibre Spates Coop Knits. I'm not sure which way around it goes. Sock, yeah, I feel like is in the name as well somewhere. Like, pick a name. I can't remember what the colourway is, so I'll have to have a look. But it's this, I really like this like burgundy colour, but it's also got like pinks, and you can see like flecks of blue in there as well. So that is also on my list of whips to finish. That would be a nice spring cardigan as well, because it's not going to be really warm to wear, but just for those days when it's a little bit windy, or you just need a little bit to keep you warm, covered up a little bit on your shoulders. So maybe that's the first whip that I will pick up when I've finished my Franken jumper. So last year I started knitting a blanket. I signed up to the Beehive Yarn's Enchanted Yarn Club, and each month you got I chose to have 5 mini skeins based on this picture, and so this was, I've not got very far. I was intending on having a blanket knitted by the end of last year, but it didn't happen. This is what I've knit so far for January. These are the January colours. So the pattern is the Triangulum blanket by Craft House Magic. I love how it's constructed. It's so cool. It's going to look really good when it's done. This isn't finished. I think I've got maybe like 8 more triangles to knit in these colours. But when you've done this much, you kind of get a little bit bored and you want to move on to another colour. So that's what I did. And I did February. This one hasn't been blocked yet. So these were February colours. So and I'm not necessarily going to put them when they're in the blanket. I'm not necessarily going to put like January, February next to each other. I'm going to see when I've got all of my tiles, which ones look best with each other, because actually this one, the January one, I have the December colours. So these were the colours that were sent out as the last one in December. So those greys, they all go with, maybe they'll go with these a bit better, yeah. Yeah, so these, I feel like they will go together. So they will probably be next to each other in the blanket. And then I've just bought a selection of the colours to show you. This is, when was this from? This was November's. So these are November's colours. And the picture that it was based on is this one. So that, I mean, those colours go together nicely. So they'll probably go next to each other. But yeah, so I am not, what is the word? I am under no illusion that I will not finish this, that I will finish this. I'm under no illusion. I am not under the illusion that I will finish this. I am not under the illusion that I will finish this. I'm not under, is that right? I'm not under the illusion that I will finish this year. I think this is gonna be an ongoing project for a couple of years, and that's fine. I've got no, like, it doesn't bother me at all. This is gonna be an epic blanket when it's finished. So that's the 2 tiles that I've done. I've left my March ones that I've started, the January, February colours. I'm working on March now. I've literally done like 1 triangle. They're all pinks and purples. And then here's another example. This is August. These little greens. They're really pretty as well. So that's a project that I will be continuing to knit this year, but I don't think I will get it finished this year at all. And that's completely fine. And I've got no idea what to do for like the back of the blanket, because like the back is I don't know, I mean, is that okay to leave that as the back, or do I need to put some fabric, like a fabric backing, like a quilt? I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what other people have done. I mean, it is neat, so maybe it'll be okay to just leave it like that. Can you tell that's, if you didn't know that was the back? Obviously you've got the triangle detail on the front there, but if you didn't know, then maybe it doesn't matter. Thank you for listening to the ramblings of a mad woman who has unlimited time, apparently. But that is what I would like to get knitted this year. Whether that changes throughout the year, I have no idea. But at the moment, that is the plan. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. See ya. Bye.